Hi, you guys, it's Lisa. We're going to work on this last online class with Stamperia products. This is what you would have gotten in your kit. Now, you would have got your 12 by 12 paper pad, and it's Sealand. And oh my gosh, is this the most awesomest paper that you've ever seen. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and I can see myself making another one of those um, traveler's journals with the leftovers of this paper pad. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just message me and I will let you know. The traveler's journals. Um, Can't put my hand on one right now. But the one we did last time, I gave you the measurements and such, and this is what we did with the Mechanical Sea World. And the Traveler's Journals are amazing. This is how mine turned out. You have 3 little journals on the inside. You create all these cool pockets. You have these different things that you put together. So I think I probably will do traveler's journals with my leftovers. And if anyone wants a video on that, I definitely will video it so I can get that to you. No problem. So let's get started. This is what you're going to get. You're going to get 1.5 feet of this cord in your kit. You're going to get some of this nautical netting in your kit. You're going to get the Cappuccino Allegro paint by Stamperia. Mixed media art crackle paste, and this is in white, and that's also Stamperia product. This is a really nice product. I really like it. You're going to get the 12 by 12 paper pad, as I said. You're going to get one of these cute little jars. Can you see that? Cute little jars. Here, I'll put it on here. And I think I'm going to try like maybe a message in a bottle with that. I thought that would be a cool idea. You're going to get a mold by Stamperia, and this has some seashells and some fish and some kind of nautical coins. Down here there's some dolphins. So just a different technique I thought you might want to think about. And you're also going to get some soft clay by Stamperia, and this is the white extra light. And we're going to work with this and the mold together. So there's a few things that um, you may want to do before we assemble the whole project. And this is what I'm doing with these projects. You do not have to make yours exactly like mine. I come up with the ideas. I provide you the class kit and this video, but sky's the limit to you. You know, you can look through this pattern paper pad and you could see something totally different than I see. So this is just my idea and what I'm thinking about doing. So to get started, I'm going to show you the substrate that I'm going to use. And what I chose was this old frame that I had downstairs in my furnace room. So it's very, very old. And this is how it looks on the back. It does not have glass, and I don't need glass. So I'm going to remove this cardboard, and this is going to be the substrate that I'm going to create on. And I'm going to sand this frame, and I'm going to crackle it with this crackle paste, and this is going to be my underneath paint color, this cappuccino. So I thought it would be really, really cool like that. So I grabbed just a piece of sandpaper, and I'm going to sand this, and just to give it some tooth so that the paint will stick to it. And I will do that off camera because I'm sure all of you know how to sand a piece. You would just go up and down like this. It's going to take a little bit of doing to get some of that varnish off. And you want to get in the grooves all around the piece. I'm going to get on the sides also. And like I said, I'm going to do this off camera, but I will come back and show you what I came up with. And I'm just going to set that aside. So we're also going to work with this soft clay. Now, I took mine out of the package because I had to use the packaging for something. It's very important that when you take it out of the package that you put it in an airtight plastic bag because it will dry out and then all you'll have is just like a brick of white clay that you can't use. So, I'm going to clip off this, and this is something that I don't use very often, and so I'm going to, for my project, my idea is I'm going to use the shells, the seashells, and the starfish. Now the other things I'm not going to use for my project, so I'm not going to fill in everything, but I will show you what I'm going to fill in. I'm going to put a piece of black paper under that so you can see that a little bit better. That will help there, right? Okay, so I'm just going to open my bag. I'm going to take out a hunk, and it is a very cool texture, very soft, real pliable, and I'm just going to work it a little bit, and I'm going to put it in the molds that I want it to be in. Now, the better press in that you have, the better image you're going to have when you bring it out. Now they have all kinds of really, really cool molds. Now can you see there? I'll lift it up. I don't have any air bubbles or anything in there, and that's what we're looking for. And then I'm just smoothing it smooth to make the edges real nice and sharp. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with all of my shells. Pressing that in. And making the edges so that they're nice and clean. Going on to the next. I don't know that I'm going to use all of these shells that I'm making right now, but it's going to take at least 24 hours, probably less because they're small pieces, for this clay to dry and give us a hard product. And so I want to do this first and also sand and paint my frame first so that we have all of our elements ready to go. See how easy that is? This clay is really nice. Now this is the only clay that I've used so far. I know there's lots and lots of different types, and feel free to let me know of your experience with any of this type of clay. And like I said, this is air dry clay, so we don't have to bake it in an oven or anything like that. And you know what I'm thinking here? I'm thinking that I'm also going to do one of these cute fish while I'm doing it. Reason being because I think I'm probably going to do one of those traveler's journals with the paper, and wouldn't that cute little fish be adorable hanging on the belly band of the book. That would be really cute. So I am going to do one of the fish. Which one looks the cutest? I think this one here is super cute to me. So I'm going to fill that one in along with my seashells. I hope you're liking this online project. It's very tropical, isn't it? I thought it would be nice and summery. And like I said, I think this one will probably be my last one with Stamperia. For no particular reason. It's just very difficult to get their product here in the United States, and I do need to purchase $500 worth of product. So depending on how this online class goes, I think that I may not be making a large purchase like that for a little while. Everybody's a little bit low on funds, you know, with this craziness going on in the world. So I've just got to, just got to look out for me for a little bit. So I'm going to seal this up really, really good. And I'm going to seal it this way. Okay. And then we're going to pop those out. And you just gently go ahead, give it a little press. Look at how cute that is. And it's alright if you pop it all the way out. I'm just being real gentle here. And I have watched other videos. Some people fill their molds with cornstarch first. Good idea. But so far, I'm not having any problems getting them out. I'm going to fix that little starfish. And here are our cute little shells. So I'm going to set this aside. Give you a little close up there. See them? And I'm going to set those aside to dry. Look how cute that little fish is. So I have my 7 little elements. I'm going to set them aside to dry. I'm going to work on my frame, sanding it and giving it a coat of this brown, and then I will be back and we will work with the crackle paste. So if you want to keep up with me, it will be just a few minutes, and the power and magic of video editing, I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. I'm back, and I've got my frame sanded and painted with my cappuccino paint by Stamperia, and it's all dry. So now I'm going to put on my crackle paste, and this is white, so I'm wanting the brown to show through. I'm going to use this brush, and I'm really going to goop it on. I'm going to start at the top. First, I think I'm going to stir this up a bit. And I'm going to, like I said, goop it on quite a bit because I really want some good cracks in it. And I want it to be that texture. I want there to be some good cracks and texture so it looks old and weathered and like the water has got to it, because this is supposed to be, you know, tropical, so get the edges and everything, and I'm kind of just pouncing it on here. giving it a nice thick coat. Okay. Trying not to get it on myself. And I want to get them inside edges also. So I'm going to do the whole thing, and then I'm going to come back when it's dry. Okay, so do the whole thing, and then we'll come back. Okay? Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm waiting for my frame to dry. I'm going to go through this pattern paper, and I'm going to decide what I'm going to use for my picture here. Now, I went through already, and I like this background here, and what I really like about it is that it's the back side, so I don't have to wreck a full sheet. So there's my thought on that. I've got to figure where I'm going to put it, and I really like this area here, so I'm thinking about like this. So I will measure and I will cut, and I would use my matte medium and put that down. That would be my background piece. So that's my thought on that. And then I was thinking I want a lighthouse, and I think this is the correct size. I was thinking over here on the side, and I want a sailboat, but obviously I don't want a big huge sailboat like this because that would be way too big. So I'm going to go with this one here. I think that would be correct on the size. And then I need something down here in this corner to balance it out. And what I really loved were these birds to go here in this corner. And then we'd have our seashells down here, and then our little message in the bottle like that. That's my thought anyways. So I'm going to cut these out, and obviously I only need just this little piece so I don't wreck anything from there. So I've got that piece. I've got this piece for my background. I've got this boat and this lighthouse, right? So I'm going to take those out. All right, and then I need something for my message in the bottle, and I saw this. It says, trust your heart. If the seas catch fire, live by love. Through the stars, walk backward. Huh, that's kind of different, but it will probably fit in my little bottle. And really, just a regular piece of any kind of old paper that you have in your stash, I'm guessing. You know, just something like this I'm going to use and roll it up and put it in my bottle. I might brown the edges a little bit, but we'll see when we get there. So I'm not going to cut that out. I think that's just a little different. And then I think we have all the elements that we need. So we're going to do Nothing from here. I don't know why I pulled that out. Maybe it just fell off. We're going to do this boat. Now I could do this boat from here, but there's really nothing that I'm missing from the back. So I'm going to do this boat, this lighthouse, this be my back page, this be my front page on the right hand side. I'm going to cut those out, and I'm going to come right back, and hopefully then our frame will be ready. Okay? Hang in there. We can get this done. This is going to be really, really cool. And then, you know, put some of this in our background. And we're going to tie a really cool knot. And yeah, this is going to be neat. It's going to be a neat little project. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So I got my elements cut out. I didn't stick them down. I thought we'd do that together. So I just kind of have a little bit of a layout here, and I'm liking how it's looking. And here's that piece of string. So I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to set my goodies aside here. And I think it might be called a sailor's knot. You make 2 loops like this, and somehow you go through here and pull through, and that makes a sailor's knot. I may be wrong. Like this, and like this. There. I thought that would be kind of cool on here. Maybe down the side like this. But you know what? I think it needs to be darker brown. So what I'm going to do is get out my spray, and any kind of spray would work. I'm just going to be bold and use this aqua color in leather color, and I'm going to, well, first see if I can get my sprayer to work. Maybe a little gooed up, but that's alright. We can use it a different way. We'll just use a brush. Make it a little darker. I think it to be a little darker. And I'm just putting some on here. And then I'm going to use some water. That's going to give it more color. So up to you if you want it darker or lighter. This is what I wanted to do, of course. I'm going to put this on so I don't end up spilling it. And just give it a little water, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it needed. Because wouldn't that look much better? Even if you didn't knot it, if you didn't feel comfortable knotting it, I think that would be cool. So I'm going to get rid of my mess. Clean up my area. Okay, set that aside to dry. And now, and I dug out some sand too. So this is just craft sand. I'll put some in your kit. And hopefully I won't forget. So that'll come in your kit so you can have some sand. I'm going to put my background down. And I'm going to go around all these edges with my archival ink. I have potting soil. I just want the edges to be a little brown and finished from where I cut. I think that always finishes it off so nicely. And you can see my little bird tails on there. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. So there. That gives that a much neater piece. And go around my birdies. I didn't cut between their legs. It's such a little bit there. I didn't feel it to be necessary. Okay, doesn't that make it look just so much better? I think it does. So we'll set those aside, and I'm going to do my boat. It's going to make it stand out from the background so much more. I did go between the sail here. Don't want to bend it too much. So there. That looks good. That looks good. I'm going to rip my little piece of paper. To the right size. I'm going to just put a little bit around. And it's going to be my message in the bottle. Like that. And you know what? I'm going to write a little message on here. Because that's what it's about, right? I'm going to go to the back side. I'm going to put my name. And I'm going to put the date. And maybe someone someday will look in there and say, hey, look, she signed it. Isn't that weird? Just going to roll it up like this. And I got to roll it tighter. To get to go in there. Too much paper. Get rid of some of it. Now, okay. There, look how cute that is. Little message in the bottle. Cute. Okay. All right. We set this aside. And I think I am going to go around the edge of this, but I'm going to put it down first. I'm going to use my matte medium. This is my inside to my frame. Get my soft brush. Just getting the paint out of it. That's clean enough. Okay. Putting my matte medium down. And I would definitely use matte instead of a gloss, but that's just my preference. I don't want it to be super shiny in the background. And I cut it just right to fit my piece. There. And I'm going to give it a coat. And you can see I had a little brown paint left in my brush. I don't mind. Gives it that antique feel. But I think I am going to go this way so the streaks go the correct way. I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of water and have them go this way. So it looks like it was intentional. There we go. Super good. I got a little dry spot here. I'll fix it. Fix it up just like that. There. Should we take a peek at our frame and see how that's coming along? It's been drying now maybe 30 minutes or so. Let's see. It's got some great crackle here. I could even have a little bit more. I'm going to grab my sandpaper again. I'm going to move my pieces here so I don't wreck anything. And I'm just going to, I got some really good crackle going on. I just want to, give it a little age to it. And yours is going to look totally different than mine. You could have put maybe blue paint on here or turquoise. Wouldn't that have been neat? There. That's how I like it. I'm going to get just a little wipe with my damp towel. Clean up my area. That, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, let's see how it looks with our background. Pretty cool. Okay, now something else we're going to have to do, at least I'm going to do, is make this stick out here. See what I'm saying? Kind of like a shadow box. That's how I'm going to want mine. So we'll worry about that at the end here. But here's how it's looking so far. Just getting a little bit of placement. I'm going to put some of this down at the bottom corner. Bottom corner, I think. My boat. Tall bird. I think my boat can go up a little more. Short bird. Yeah. Needs something up here, doesn't it? It's a little plain. Let me think here. Let's get out some stencils. And you know which one I'm thinking of. The one from Sean Petit. It says, "Find your true north." So let me dig here. Here it is. Do I put this on there? Or this compass? Or do I leave it plain? I really like that decorative background. I don't think I'm going to put a sentiment on, but you feel free and do what you want. You may have Sean's stencil, and I will link it below. Now I'm going to look at my little shells. And my thought was that the shells would be down here in the corner. They're not dry yet. And I can see that we're only going to need 3. Maybe one over here. But they need to dry so that we can add a little bit of our paint to them and make them look a little bit more realistic. In the meantime, I'm going to put this bird down because it's going to be in the background. I'm going to pop up the boat with some foam dots. I'm going to put the lighthouse down, and then this one is going to be popped up also. So we're going to set these aside. And this. And we'll go ahead and put down the lighthouse and that one, I think it's called a sandpiper. Is that right? I think it is. That kind of seagull. Drying off my brush. And I'm going to use my matte medium again. This is my piece of packaging that I had my paint on from before. Gonna put my bird down. I think that looks about right. And the lighthouse. And you see how this has lines there? I don't want to put that right where that line goes. I want to offset it so that it doesn't look like the water is right into the lighthouse. Does that make sense? And I'm going to put it all the way over to the edge and maybe even hang it off just a tad, and we can cut off the excess in a few moments. Just going to glue that down. There, that looks good. Make sure it's flat. There, that looks good. Now, this, I don't know. I definitely have more than enough here, so you're going to have extra in your kit. I think it makes a neat element, but it definitely needs to be in the background here. So I'm going to use some matte gel, and I'm going to try and adhere that down. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I think the texture of it is real nice. So I'm just trying to decide which piece and where. I'm going to go ahead and use my paper here and just really get the glue on it. Don't be afraid, it's okay. And then go ahead and lay it down, giving it a good stick. And that's going to have to set aside to dry, and we'll cut off the excess when it's all dry, okay? So I'm going to set this aside, let everything dry. We'll come back to it, and then probably our shells will be dry, and we'll go from there. Okay, it's looking good. Set that aside. And I'm not going to put down the sailboat or this yet. Not even sure I'm going to use this, but we'll see. Maybe up here. Oh yeah, that might be cool. We'll see. All right, I'll be back. To go out and ask my husband how to tie this in a sailor's knot, and I wanted to come back really quick and show you how to do it before I forgot. So you have the two pieces like this. this piece goes in, around, and then back in. Ta-da! How cool is that? Okay, I'll try it again. Got your two pieces. This piece goes in, around, make sure it's long enough, around, and back in. Ta-da! Even if we don't use it for our piece, even if you don't or I don't, you know, I don't know, maybe right there would be really cool. At least now we know how to do it, and I have it on camera, so we will always remember. That's a cool sailor's knot. Okay, I'm going to let this dry, let my shells dry, and we will be back to finish it up. Okay, thanks. Okay, I'm back. So here we go. Everything here is dry, and now as I was thinking about it, I'm wondering if I want to use my burnt umber oil-based paint and go over this. So I'm going to do that, and I thought I would do it on the frame too, because that will really, really bring out the texture of that crackle paste. So I'm going to just cut off my edges here carefully so that I don't pull it back off. Careful. Okay. So that's garbage. And then I'm going to use my boar's hair brush, and I'm going to go all over this. Clean off some space here. And in my previous online classes, when we use this oil-based paint, burnt umber is the color that I use. I'm going to take my rings and stuff off here. You can use it with a little bit of mineral spirits, and then that is going to let you thin it down a bit. And I am going to grab mine. I've been doing a little reorganizing in my craft area, and sometimes that's a good thing and sometimes it's a bad thing, because sometimes you can't find your stuff. And here it is. Ah, stuff falling all over. So I just keep it in this jar and labeled, of course, because this stuff is pretty toxic. And I'm just going to dip my brush in there and then thin down my mineral spirits a bit. I'm going to go over the whole thing, and now I am hoping that I'm not wrecking this. It's going to give this an antique finish. I'm going to carefully go over my netting, just like this, carefully. Carefully. And then we're going to wipe off with our dry paper towel. And this is going to take a bit to dry, so you're going to have to leave it. That's why I keep videoing and then I stop, because things need to dry. Okay, so I'm trying not to touch it. I've got a paper towel here, and I'm just gonna carefully wipe it up. And it gives such a neat antique look to your mixed media piece, I think. And I'm gonna rip a piece so I can hold this so it stops spinning on me. And I'm gonna be real careful to dab over this netting so I don't pull it off. And over that bird. Yep. I thought that might be the ticket. And yeah, look at that. Isn't that cool now, huh? Yes, it is. Very cool. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside to dry. It's a good thing that I have a big craft room because I got stuff all over here today. Just going to put a little paper down here while I do my frame. And let's see what happens on that. I'm going to put a little bit more product down. And I got this great big huge tube of this at, I don't know, Hobby Lobby, I would guess. And it's just a real inexpensive brand. I don't even know the name brand, but, and then use your 40% off coupon. Let's see what this does. You got your fingers crossed that it's not going to wreck it. But how can it wreck it, you know? It's not like this is a commissioned piece that someone paid hundreds and hundreds of dollars on. It's my piece, and it'll be how it'll be. And if I don't like it, I can always paint it brown again with my cappuccino color, right? And then go ahead and do the crackle again and not do this step. But I think as I'm going here, it's going to be just great. Wiping it up. And you got plenty of time because this is oil-based paint, so it's not going to dry real fast on you. It's going to need to dry overnight, I bet. Yeah, so that even makes the crackles even better. You'll see on your piece when you are doing it. I like lots of crackles on mine. Very old vintagey feel to it. Today I got a great score at the rummage sale. I got the cutest old broken down weathered birdhouse. It even has bird droppings in it. And I'm not doing a thing to it. I just put it on my dining room table and put some greenery around it. Oh, it looks so cute. Okay, this now is really neat. Yes. And I could have had more crackles, but I think crackle paste is something that you really need to work with. And maybe that'll be something on my practice list. There's always things that one needs to practice. Now that is stunning, I think. I think it's really, really cool. I'm going to set it aside to dry, and we can go ahead and now put all of our goodies away. Look at how much paint I wasted. I'm going to clean out my brush here. I'm cleaning it out in mineral spirits. And if you don't clean out your brush, it will basically just fall apart on you. So, got to do that. I'm not going to get rid of this just quite yet. I'm going to set it aside and cover this up. And then we'll go to our other pieces here. We have these shells, remember? And my thought was to just kind of give them a little bit of this paint here, kind of dry brush a little bit to get the highlights. Let's see how that works. Just going to put a little bit on my packaging here. I've got a brush that I haven't got wet or anything. It's dry. I kind of think I want maybe a little stiffer one. Here's a nice stiffer one. So I'm going to just pick up some of my paint and see what happens here. Now these are all dry. They're delicate, so be careful. And I'm just kind of giving them a little dry brush. Gives them some dimension. There. Look how cute. So cute. I'm going to do it to this. That one maybe I got a little bit too much paint on. Sometimes less is more, right? This is adorable, this piece here. What is this called? Some kind of a snail or something. Yeah, I guess so. Now that is really cute. Okay, so I'm going to do the other one of these. Not very much paint on. And that's the good thing about having two of each, you know, if you don't like it. You know what you can do with it. Paint it white again, and then let it dry, and then go ahead and paint it again. Just getting the tops of this one. I'm going to leave it a little bit more white. Cute. Yeah, the snail I think is the cutest. Alright, so these are ready. We got all of our elements. We've got our sailboat and our other bird. Now here's my thought on this. I'm going to get that piece back. Is this going to stand out too much because it doesn't have that wash on? I don't think so. I think that's going to be just great. So I'm not going to put any of that burnt umber oil paint on there. I'm going to leave it. Let's let everything dry. And I'll be back again. I'll clean up my mess. Okay. Okay, we're back and we are ready to put everything together. Now, my thoughts were, I know that this has been a long, long video. So I wanted just to do a voiceover on this last portion. I'm going to put all the elements together and then we will be finished with this piece. So here I'm just adding some foam adhesive on the back of the sailboat and on the back of that last bird. I'm going to pop the picture or mixed media piece inside of the frame, and then this is all going to come together. I did plug in my hot glue gun because that's how I'm going to put those shells and that bottle with the message in it onto the piece, and I wanted it to stick really well. So we'll go ahead and put these two pieces on. I like how that sailboat and the other bird pop out because we don't have that burnt umber oil based paint on it. So I like how that creates another element of interest to the piece. So I'm going to go ahead and pop my picture into the frame. No glass, of course, because we want this to be kind of like a shadow box effect. I think that's really cool. And I'm loving how my frame turned out. I definitely will do that effect on some other pieces. I'm going to pop my bird there. Just wanted to make sure I gave him the right height. And he's going to go in front of the other bird. There, I like it. It's really cute. Just a cute little gift you could give someone, especially if they lived in a tropical setting. So I'm going to pick out the three shells that I liked for the piece. I am going to put down some matte gel with a brush, and I'm going to add some of that play sand to the background. It's just going to give another layer of texture, and of course that's what we're all about, getting that texture. And then I'm just going to sprinkle the sand on it and it's going to stick. The matte gel will dry clear so you won't be able to see it. There we go. I'm just going to sprinkle it on there, and I'm doing it pretty generously because I'm going to have to dump most of it off, and the stuff that doesn't stick I'll put back in my jar. So isn't that going to be nice? That's really nice. I didn't know if I'd ever use this craft sand when my girlfriend gave it to me, but look at me, I'm using it. And it's really cute. I'm going to wipe off some of that sand from the netting. I want it to look like the netting is behind the sand, obviously. Give that just a quick little wipe so that the netting is in the background. And we are going to put down the other pieces with my hot glue gun. Of course, I have to clean up my mess first. I can't leave it. You know I can't. So I'm going to go ahead and put that away. I'm hoping you're liking how this is turning out. It was an online class, and I only had a few people sign up for it. So if you do want the class project kit, you would have to go to my website and there would be a link in the description below. You can go to my website and you could go ahead and purchase the kit. You will get all of the items that we use today. Of course, not the paintbrushes and things, but there's a list of all the different pieces that you would get in the kit. So if you have any troubles, go ahead and email me also. But if you want the kit, I do have, I believe, 3 remaining. So I'm going to use my hot glue gun and I'm going to put down those shells. And my cute snail, of course. Be careful not to get your fingers. That hot glue gun can be very treacherous. And then my really cute little message in a bottle. I think that is so cute. Now I was trying to decide if I thought the piece was too blank without having a sentiment on it, but I really like how it is. I think this would be really super cute, just hanging on the wall or just propped up on a shelf. I think it's very, very good piece, nice and nautical, and I like that it doesn't have a sentiment. So like I said, I have 3 kits left. If you want to purchase one, they will be on my website, and I will actually put those last 3 kits on sale. I think I'll give maybe uh, $15 off. How's that sound? So the whole um, class kit would be $40 and then you pay for the shipping and handling. So you let me know if you want one and I'll send it right out to you. I really like this and I'm glad that you stayed here. It was a long video. I totally understand. And here I just wanted to show you, I did use that rope that we learned how to tie. I didn't put it in the background, so I put it in the foreground and added another level of dimension and interest to the piece. And I'm putting it on with my hot glue gun. So I hope you have a great week. I will see you next week. If you need anything, you just give me a message on my email, or, of course, you can reach me in my new group, which is a Facebook group called Everything Paper and Glue. And it's a fun group. We're going to have another giveaway this week. So stop by. Make sure you answer the questions so that I can let you in the group. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for watching.